Dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition of Africa Today. In today's edition, we are going to talk about the business and economy in the African continent and the African trade bloc, which opens for business. And we'll start with this report about the main topic, which is the African countries which began officially trading under a new continent-wide free trade area on Friday after months of delays caused by the global coronavirus pandemic. More details in the following story by Abir Mitwali.
African countries began officially trading under a new continent-wide free trade area on Friday after months of delays caused by the global coronavirus pandemic. But experts view the New Year's Day launch as largely symbolic, with full implementation of the deal expected to take years. The African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, aims to bring together 1.3 billion people in a $3.4 trillion economic bloc that will be the largest free trade area since the establishment of the World Trade Organization. Backers say it will boost trade among African neighbors while allowing the continent to develop its own value chains. The World Bank estimates it could lift tens of millions out of poverty by 2035. But obstacles, ranging from poor infrastructure to protectionism of some of its members, must be overcome if the bloc is to reach its full potential. Trade under the AFCFTA was meant to be launched on July 1st, but was pushed back after COVID-19 made in-person negotiations impossible. Every African country except Eritrea has signed on to the AFCFTA framework agreement, and 34 have ratified it. But observers such as a former Liberian minister who is now a senior fellow at the Center for Global Development, say the real work begins now.
نحن لدينا مصير مشترك.
مصر تسلمت الرئاسة الدورية للاتحاد الإفريقي لعام 2019 وتتطلع كعادتها دوما للتعبير عن شواغل الشعوب الإفريقية الشقيقة الرامية لتحقيق الاستقرار والتقدم ودفع عجلة التنمية قدما. إذا كنتم ترغبون في تغيير وجه القارة الأفريقية، فالاتحاد الإفريقي كقيادة تستطيع أن تعمل وتبذ بشكل مركزي لمشروع عملاق لبناء بنية أساسية على مستوى القارة. أنا أتصور أن الأمن والاستقرار استثمار. إذا لم تستقر هذه القارة والأمن فيها بمعدلاته عالية، هذا الأمر سينعكس بالسلب علينا كلنا.
Welcome back. While South Africa has entered the new year with another record increase in the COVID-19 infections rate, with the health department reporting 18,000 new cases in the country. More details follow.
South Africa has entered the new year with another record increase in daily COVID-19 infections, with the health department reporting 18,000 new cases in the country. At the close of the year, South Africa's total cases were recorded at 1,057,161 confirmed, while deaths have risen by 436. Recoveries have reached 879,671, giving South Africa a balance of 149,021 active cases, a figure that is also continuously rising during the latest resurgence. Government has responded to the second wave of infections by moving the country back into lockdown level 3, putting tighter restrictions on social gatherings and banning alcohol, which it says leads to too many trauma cases at hospitals, which are already struggling to meet demand. South Africa's health minister said that the bulk of commentary from South Africans and lockdown critics have focused on the COVID-19 vaccines and the availability for South Africa. However, he said that while the focus on the vaccine is important, it distracts from the duty of all citizens to do what they can right now to stop the spread of the virus. The minister said that the fact remains that they do not have a vaccine right now.
As a result of holiday gatherings, Africans officials warn of a resurgence of COVID-19 on the continent and urge increased testing to combat it. The level of testing across the continent is considerably less than what health experts say is needed to effectively control the spread of the disease. More details in the following story.
Holiday gatherings, African officials warn of a resurgence of COVID-19 on the continent and urge increased testing to combat it. The level of testing across the continent is considerably less than what health experts say is needed to effectively control the spread of the disease. Africa makes up about 3.3% of the global total of confirmed virus cases, but this is believed to be just a fraction of the actual cases on the continent of 1.3 billion people. When the pandemic began, only 2 of Africa's 54 countries have labs to test for the disease. Now virtually every one of the continent's countries can carry out the tests. Together, Africa's countries have conducted at least 25 million COVID-19 tests, with a recent increase of 3%, according to the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Compared to the small amount of testing at the beginning of the pandemic, Africa CDC director said that the increased testing is good progress and they continue to be hopeful of this. Increased testing is needed to help Africa locate where cases are rising and where additional medical responses are needed, and when they become available to Africa, where vaccines should go.
And to shed more light on the economy in Africa and the business agreement, we are very much delighted to have with us over the phone Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Ambassador Bayoumi, good afternoon to you. Hello, sir.
Yes, how are you?
How are you, Ambassador Bayoumi? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you and all the Maspero building.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Sir, African countries began officially trading under a new continent-wide free trade area. Can you shed more light about that trade deal?
Yes, we started slowly but surely.
Yes.
We started as Egypt with what we call COMESA, Common Market of Eastern and South Africa. It is combined of 21 African countries. So we joined it, we immediately imposed all the resolutions which were dismantling all the trade barriers, no custom duties among the 21 countries. Now, during the presidency of Egypt for the African Union, we proposed to combine the free trade areas of the continent in one big free trade area. And it is a story of success there because you have more than 50 countries now in one big free trade area. Thank God that yesterday they announced that 34 countries already have ratified the agreement. So the agreement is in action now.
Yes.
So we can export and import from more than 50 countries. The good news also that our trade with Africa is tripled in the last 5 years.
Yes.
Also another good piece of good news that we are making the balance of trade is in our favor. Also, Egypt is calling not only for trade, we are calling for investment. Africa is seeking investment coming from Europe, from America, from Japan, from China, and the Chinese are doing a fine job. So the new element that Europe and China and Japan agreed to invest in Africa is the Egyptian experience. We have much more experience than other countries.
Yes.
We are very well accepted face in Africa because we are Africans after all. We helped most of these countries for their way for independence. So I felt as Egyptian ambassador in Africa that I was well received everywhere. mind you, the role of Al-Azhar al-Sharif in hosting tens of thousands of Africans studying in Egypt. So all the dimensions are in action now, and we hope this will continue.
Yes.
Because really it is a very good chance. Africa is not anymore a problem. Africa is a good chance for those who will invest or trade with Africa.
Indeed. Mr. Ambassador, the African Continental Free Trade Area aims actually to bring together about 1.3 billion people in a 3.4 trillion US dollar economic bloc that will be the largest free trade area since the establishment of the World Trade Organization. How do you view this?
This is very important because, as you well said, the number of the inhabitants in Africa are 1.3 billion inhabitants, which is largest than the Arab free trade area, which 400 million. Europe is 500 million. So it is, per se, it is the largest free trade area in the world since the establishment of the General Agreement of Tariffs and Trade.
Yes.
So the number is huge, but I am afraid to say also that the size of or the volume of trade is not that big. After all, Africa is not that big in the international trade, but
Yes.
This step will increase the African participation in the international trade, and it's a very good step towards a better way and better life in Africa.
Yes, indeed. Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, always a pleasure to listen to your precious input, sir. Thank you very much. And with that, our dear viewers, we come to the end of this edition of Africa Today. Thank you very much for watching.